Hi, today we will discuss about balanced outlook on law. Before this topic, we discussed about the code of ethics. These two are interrelated. In what way and what are its roles and what are the problems in it? These are the things that we will discuss in this topic. First, for a society, for us, in order to live, work, and play together in a harmony as a society, there must be a balance between the needs of individual and the needs of society. I have some needs on my own and I have some desires, but I cannot say for sure it will be the same. The needs and desires will not be the same for the society or for the environment in which I am living. So for me and the society to live in a very good way, we need, or everyone in the society needs to follow ethical conduct. Only with the help of ethical conduct we can provide a balance between the individual needs and the society's needs. Okay, for that ethical conduct we have code of ethics. To live in the society we can come up with some code of ethics. Then what is the necessity for law here? Law is required because people are not fully responsible, and because of the competitive nature in the present day that does not encourage moral initiative. Even though courts are there, we need law to enforce it. A balanced outlook on laws stresses the necessity of laws, its regulations, its limitations in directing engineering practice. Without the laws, we cannot say for sure how far our codes will be followed. Since we are considering engineering as a social experimentation, it allows for the importance of clear laws to be derived or to be enforced. We engineers are supposed to play an effective role in creating, promoting, and changing the rules of engineering, as well as most importantly we should play the role in enforcing them, to follow and to enforce them. So codes must be enforced with the help of laws. Codes here refers to the code of ethics. Merely code of ethics will not play much role in the society. So we need law to be enforced based on the codes. Here are some examples. I'll tell you. The first one is Babylon's building code. During 1758, Babylon ruled somewhere, and he came up with some codes or laws for the building constructors in his country. What are those codes? I'll explain. If a builder constructs a house and that house has fallen down, means that particular builder has to reconstruct the house for the property owner in his own cost. In case during the collision of that particular building, if the property owner got dead, means this particular builder should also be put to dead. In case if the builder's family members got dead during the collision of the building, then this builder's family members should also be put to death. These are some of the highlights of the Babylon's building code. The second one is the US Steamboat Code, and this one was created during 1852. And what is the reason behind this is, during that period steam engines used to be very big in size. Some mechanical engineers came up with a new model of a compact steam engine. But even after lot of tests and evaluation, those steamboats that they came up with resulted in the death of 2500 people, and more than 2000 people got injured. To avoid this, the government came up with a law, but that law also didn't went well. Then one particular engineer came up with certain set of codes, and he personally inspected almost 200 steamboats and gave them certification, and that particular codes were then implemented as law in the US Senate. These two are some examples in which we can say for sure law is required to be implemented, but that law has to be generated from the codes or code of ethics. Okay, we have developed laws for every profession. What are the problems in that? Let us see one by one. First one, minimal compliance. Even though there exist millions of laws, most of the employees and the employers will search for the loopholes in that. Those laws will simply reside in the paper, but it will not be followed. Most commonly happening in our country, minimal compliance. Second one is, if we keep on changing the laws thinking that it is improvising, but if we keep on changing it means what we are actually doing, we are relaxing it to the maximum. So continually updating laws may be counterproductive. Many laws are non-laws, which means law will be there but it will not be enforced. Like, we know a lot of things like this. A law will be there but it will not be enforced. Those kind of things will give a false sense of security to the public. We know for sure, okay, these things are there, but anyway it is not going to happen here. These things they will tell in media, they will tell in news, but it will not happen in reality. Those laws are known as non-laws. And the most important problem is that the opponents of the law may burden it intentionally with many unreasonable provisions. Suppose I am running an organization and I am against this particular law, means I will try my best by putting some maximum points, trying to mean that this particular law is having some flaw. If it is proved theoretically, then the lawmakers will be forced to change it. But who is the reason for that? The opponents of that. And the most important one, powerful organizations, mainly government in most of the cases, not only government, mainly, can violate the laws if they want in some cases. there will be laws, and it is supposed to work in this way only. But whenever they want it to be worked in some other way, they will simply change it, or they will simply extend it, they will simply prolongate it, so that it will get suppressed. In the meanwhile, those powerful organizations, when I say powerful, they have the power to change it. These are the problems of law in engineering. Then, role of law in engineering. First, it is wrong to write of rule making and rule following as useless. We cannot simply write something and we are not following it, means what is the use of that? So it should be, law should be there. Rule we are making, and if we are not following it, means what is the purpose of writing it? So law should be there, and those laws should ensure some minimum standards, at least for any professional conduct. It should ensure some minimum standards. And law also provides a self-interested motive for most of the people to comply with. Even we do follow this. If this particular law exists, I will feel free to comply with that. I will feel free means what? I am interested towards that. It motivates me to comply with that. And law also supports and acts as a defense for those who wish to act ethically in all the situations. We discussed about this in Code of Ethics also. If I am forced to do some unethical things, laws will help me. It will act as a defense for me. Viewing engineering as a social experimentation provides the engineers with a better perspective on laws and regulations. So whatever I do in my work, if I consider that as a social experimentation, these codes and laws will give me a better perspective. Then when it comes to public safety, it will be always better if the rules are precise and enforceable, because if someone violates or misconducts, that affects the safety of the public. Anyway, laws will be there, and what if those laws are not enforceable? So mainly with respect to public safety kind of things, laws are precise and enforceable. And when it comes to experimentation, rules must not attempt to cover all possible outcomes of experiment, because in experiment we know for sure we don't know all the possible outcomes. That is what experiment. We don't know all the possible outcomes, that we know for sure. And it should not force us to adopt one particular course of action, because we are considering engineering as an experimentation. So rules should not be like this. To make sure we have laws for that. So these are the role of law in engineering. First we started with what is the necessity for law. Even though we have Code of Ethics, what is the necessity for laws? Because these laws can only provide a balanced society. And we discussed some examples for the laws generated out of codes. And then we discussed about the problems of law in engineering, and then we ended with role of law in engineering. Thank you.